It's good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
It's been a while.
It has. It's been quite a while, yeah.
It was such a nice surprise to see you as a Royal Rumble entrant, and so often that's just a one-off. Look at you now.
It was meant to be a one-off. It was supposed to be. I enjoyed telling the story. My son, who's 8 now, at the time was 4, turning 5, and he had become a wrestling fan. And I remember we were standing in the toy aisle at one of the stores, Target, Walmart, something like that, and we were looking at the action figures, and he was, Daddy, that's so-and-so, and that's so-and-so. And as he's saying this, I'm thinking, these are my colleagues. These are friends of mine. And then it hit me, man, I want my son to see Daddy hanging up in the aisle. So I gave Paul Heyman a call and asked Paul Heyman if I could be a surprise entry in the Rumble. And he said, done. And we didn't talk about money or pay. The only thing I wanted was floor seats for my son so that he could see Daddy in the ring. And Heyman said, done, because Heyman and I have had a lot of talk about me embracing fatherhood and whatnot. And the next day, as a matter of fact, that evening, they said, hey, can you make it to San Antonio tomorrow? Rey Mysterio is my son's favorite wrestler. So the following day at San Antonio, Paul Heyman, and I am a Paul Heyman guy, to borrow a phrase, Paul Heyman, who was in charge of Raw at the time, I didn't have a contract. He put me on television in a match with Rey Mysterio. So my son got to see Daddy and Rey on TV wrestle. And that was supposed to be it. But after that match, I was offered a job as a producer. And at that time, my intentions were to retire. I was going to step away from the industry. And then I accepted the role as a producer. And then the pandemic came. And I was released from my position as a producer. And then got a call, hey, we need you as talent. And card subject to change.
This is the great thing about the position you're in right now is because you could be a manager forever. And I'm curious, you say you're a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman is arguably one of the greatest managers of all time, if not the greatest manager of all time. What kind of insight has he given you into the position that you're in now?
Oh, he's been huge. Make no mistake about it, I am back this second time around because of Paul Heyman. So I sit up under his learning tree whenever I can. And my relationship with Paul Heyman isn't adversarial at all. He is, it's funny because all the young guys in the locker room call me OG, but Paul Heyman is my OG, So as far as, the approach to the business and how you deal with talent, just so many aspects. He's been a wealth of information for me.
I got to say, more people need to see your TED Talk. Your TED Talk blew my mind, and when I look at it, I'm like, how is there only 100,000 views on this? It changed my perspective, not just about you, but just about that topic in general, and the idea of when do I stop becoming a criminal?
Yeah, it's something that I continue. I recently gave a speech in front of the Houston Bar Association, and it's a message that I've been carrying. If in our society, if you make a bad choice and you commit a crime, and you serve your time, and you've, quote unquote, paid your debt to society, why are you still penalized? And in my case, being a convicted felon, there's still certain countries that I can't go to. I still can't vote for a bad decision I made when I was 16. So it's a campaign of mine. I think that we really have to reassess our social contract. If you committed a crime and you've served your time, then you should have a clean slate.
Do you think you might have another match left in you?
I've got a few left. I haven't hung the boots up yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm not as eager to climb into the ring as I once was, but when necessary, I'm still capable.
What hurts right now when you get out of bed in the morning?
Oh, man. It's probably short of...
What doesn't hurt?
What doesn't hurt, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I take pretty good care of myself, and I try to stay active. I still do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but as I've gotten older, my workouts have changed. I don't do regular bodybuilder workouts. Now I try to do workouts that are more about function and movement. I am coming into my age and embracing my mortality.
What do you think would surprise people about Omos? Because I think when people see someone who's that big, they just go, oh, that's a big man, and that's kind of where the conversation ends.
I think a lot of people underestimate his desire to be successful. His aptitude is impressive, because if you show him something or you tell him something once, immediately you see it being applied. There's a reason that I represent him. There's a reason that people like The Undertaker have taken him under his wing. There's a reason that he was chosen to face somebody like Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He's only 30 years old. People forget that part. And he played basketball. So the guy has footwork. He has explosiveness. He has ability. He just doesn't have a lot of experience. But my prediction, and I am telling you, that he will be the giant of this company for the next 10 to 15 years.
It's going to be exciting to see what he can do. I end every conversation talking about gratitude because it's such an important part of my life. What are 3 things in your life that you're grateful for right now?
First and foremost, my health. That's probably the thing that we take for granted more than anything else. I'm grateful for my amazing son, Camden, he makes me a better human being.
By the way, I'm about to be a father.
Oh,
I'm six weeks away, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you.
It's life-changing, man. I never wanted to be a father. I didn't want kids. I liked being a single playboy. I loved it. But my son makes me see the world through different eyes, and he makes me a better human being. So, and nobody can ever truly understand the love that a parent has for their child. You think you do until you hold that little person that looks up at you. And that first time that your little one says, "Daddy, I love you," it's going to change your world.
You're going to make me cry here.
It's going to change. But mine now, he likes to do moonsaults and jump off of things. So my alarm clock is him waking up when the door smashes open and he splashes on me from the headboard. That's
MVPJ, MVP Junior.
Well, actually, no. His wrestling name, he chose his wrestling name, King Camden. And he's already asked me if when he's old enough, if we'll be able to face off against Dominic and Ray. And I had to tell him, by the time you're old enough, I think Daddy will probably be in a walker.
So what's the last thing you're grateful for?
The last thing that I'm grateful for, I would probably say the wonderful people in my life, the true friends and loved ones that I can count on, and that are able to reciprocate the love and trust. Because nowadays, especially when you're in the public eye, so many people have ulterior motives, or there are people that you think you could trust, that you can count on, that when the chips are down, they're not. And that's when you find out who your true friends are. So when you know that you have true friends and relatives that you can count on, that you can trust, that love you and you love them, it's good to have that, because everybody doesn't have that.
A pleasure as always. Thank you so much,
Very
sir.
good to see you, Chris.
You too.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.